Just jealous. Bunch of jealous haters. Charlie, you'll never have the grace, style, and class that Amber Lynn or I have. People with handicaps don't even mind the R word. Some of them actually prefer it. Okay? I asked all my handicapped friends, and all of them said they don't mind. Alright? So, bye! White people are the most overprivileged people in the world. The sense of entitlement is ridiculous. And by the way, I could buy and sell you. Okay? You're just jealous because I have money, and you don't. And people get out of the way when they see me coming. And another thing. Who in the...
What are you doing?
I'm educating people, actually. Screw all you jealous effing haters. Hello everyone, I'm Steve. Marc's around. Say hi, Marc.
Hey everybody!
And this is Smokey, Steve, and Marc. Either welcome or welcome back, and happy Saturday. It is the weekend, so you know what that means. However, things have been a little rough. It's not scotch. It's Arizona iced tea, RX, the good stuff. Watered down a little bit. So, hope everyone's well. Hope everyone's safe. Look after yourselves. Look after each other. Today we are going to catch up with our fair lady, Chantal. Chantal Marie, Foodie Beauty, Big Beautiful Me, The Daily Chantal, Chantopolis, Beezer Show, Chantodler, Foodie Beauty again. So we were here last week, and when we were here last week, we discussed Cuban Pete's, and Chantal's trip there. The rather sudden one that she took to Cuba. We talked about the time she spent there, how she was pretty much spending the whole time eating at the buffet. Not just the buffet. She went to the beach here and there, kind of stayed in the hotel, and for a lot of the time, I know she's vlogging, but she was on the phone talking. Cuba was right there! And she was inside just bullshitting online about, oh, he loves me, I don't love him, I can't go back without, that. So, she gave her number to everybody within arm's reach, too. So, we're going to pick up with the end of Cuba and her coming home. So we'll talk a little bit about her getting back, her karaoke singing, which raises a point. We'll talk about a little bit of her drunken rant, just as a disclaimer. I don't do trigger warnings. Well, I'll tell you this, for me, it was hard for me to watch because she was so damn drunk, and I used to be a drinker. So I'll show you what I was able to get through and share my thoughts on that. Also, the hotel room. She was exposed because it was found out at what hotel she was staying with, and Natter was there with her. So that happened also. And there was clutching of pearls around that sort of thing too, not just from Chantal, who was Nad, but inside the reaction community. There was ideas, is that too far? Is it not far enough? Is it been done before? What's the motive? Is it just to make her life hell, or is it to call her out? So we'll chit-chat about that too. So, we've got to talk. Okay. So, we're in Cuba. The last days in Cuba were interesting. Anybody but her would have had a great time on this trip, probably. But in the last few days of the trip, it kind of seemed like things were picking up. Like I said, in the first few days, she was probably sick because she was detoxing from whatever she had at home. That was Marc. So she was cranky and moody and having a few rum punches probably here and there. And then she didn't seem to be having a bad time, but was still stuck on home, and things going on there. And then about 5-6 days in, she started to maybe feel a little better about herself. And one of the things she did was get herself up there in her Spanx and bald head and sang karaoke. Okay, Chantal, you wouldn't think karaoke, probably, right? She's at another country. She's putting it all out there, her full self and her full shave, I shaved my head too. So it's like, oh, okay, look at her. Look at her being so brave. Look at her taking a chance, and look at her having a good time, finally, on her vacation. And I'll give that much. She might as well have had one good day out of the whole holiday. Maybe a good hour or two, a good song. But the amount of praise that was heaped upon her for going to karaoke was stupid, I think. The bar has been set so low for human activity when it comes to Chantal that any little thing that is innocuous, that's not good or bad, it's just is. Singing a song at karaoke is just what it is. But for her, I think it's like this huge landmark that people are going to put in their diaries that Chantal did something that wasn't awful, was almost entertaining on her own channel.
What?
I guess that is one to put in the diary. But, you know, nevertheless, the reactors' responses to karaoke, again, kind of threw me off. Not that it's not cool that she had a good time on her vacation, but let's not act like this is the jumping off point towards anything, because as the week shows us, it was not. It was nothing. It was not the starting off point to anything. It was just, she had 10 minutes of a nice time. Good for her. I hope the whole trip was worth it. People who were saying she's brave and she's socially stunted, so this is a really big deal. She's a 38-year-old woman. Brave isn't the word I would use. She took a chance, maybe, but let's not put this, like, characteristic of brave. That's bigger than just, you know, she did a courageous thing, but is she a brave person? No. No. If she was brave, or at least receptive, I mean, we've been talking to ourselves in the comment sections because she shut all our comments off. Because she wants one-way communication. I have my opinion, and you don't get to say yours. And it's my channel, and if you don't like it, and then it's my party, and you don't own me. I'm not just one of your many toys. So yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. I think it's a nice thing she did, but I'm not gonna, you know, give her a participation trophy, because once in the last 3 years she did something that didn't hurt anybody. So, I've gone bald to karaoke my whole life. Where's my parade? Okay? A lot of us do these things in our lives. And the fact that she's created such a context where an activity like this is like, superstar, 5 stars, gold medal, shows how low the expectations are for her and how they've crept so far over a period of time, and that the VIBs have gone down with her, that if she wipes her ass the right way, you know, front to back instead of back to front, she deserves a medal for it. I disagree with some reactors. Again, not against Chantal having a good time, but let's not act like she just had an epiphany of some sort. So, she's a 38-year-old woman, not a teenager finding herself. So these activities and the sturm and drag about relationships and crying on the phone, and we'll get into the drunk rant, are juvenile. They're very juvenile. So, you know, it's kind of, we already know she's a hard person to like, okay? We already know this, but the last thing she needs is another pat on the ass. And I feel like that's what she got after doing karaoke. It turned from one little thing she did into this huge, ginormous, you know, oh, she's doing so great now. She's doing so wonderful. You know, Chantal manipulates her viewers into expecting very, very little. You know, round of applause if you get up before 3. Woohoo. So, that is karaoke. Now let's, for a second, we're going to change gears here, and I'll give you a little disclaimer. I want to talk a little bit about her drunken rant. Now, the limits of my review are as follows. I used to drink a lot. I haven't been a heavy drinker in about 10, it'll be going on 11 years next year. But to not put too fine a point on it, I was a raging alcoholic. And now I'm not. This is, again, iced tea. So, when she gets a few drinks in her, she is a nasty effing drunk. She is so nasty. There's different sayings people have about how, you know, when you get drunk, the truth comes out. Whatever's in your head just eventually comes out of your mouth. People would probably assume some of the nastiness that came out of her mouth because, you know, is she really as nice as she seems? I think most people would say no. But she gave some pretty concrete examples of why she's a lousy person in this drunken rage. So, okay, let's not go too far. if we don't say lousy person, we'll say lousy behavior, if we can pick apart the person from the behavior. I know some people don't, and it's not my prerogative to tell you not to, because there's not much evidence otherwise. So on her last night in Cuba, suspicion amongst the rooms was that she must have talked with Natter, because she's never that pissed at her audience as when Natter gives her the okey doke and kind of doesn't want to talk to her. Or Dee Dee was there, so he texted her and said, I can't talk now, Dee Dee's here. So she comes on half drunk and nasty, and continues to drink and get more and more nasty as that live went on. It was about 4 hours of it. So during that time, she used some language, and I don't mean just profanities, but I mean, I like profanities too, but it's, you know, YouTube monetized. You know, you clean it up. You don't want to sound like a trash bag all the time. You want to be able to, you know, pass as normal on occasion. But going aside from that, she was saying slurs. The R word came up a couple times, and she defended its use, saying it was fine, that it's a state of being, and that most people who are intellectually disabled, developmentally disabled, I work in mental health, so I am subject to using long, politically correct words when addressing people. At least something that's not offensive, for Christ's sake. And then go back afterwards and say, a lot of people who are, you know, the R word, don't mind the word R. Did you poll your friends? How many of them are in your chat? You don't have friends in real life, so who are the people that you've decided don't mind? Or did you decide they shouldn't mind, so you're gonna do what you want?
Ding, ding, ding.
Ah! So, some examples of the awful shit that was coming out of her mouth. Well, she was on this white entitlement thing first. It's so tone deaf. She is so tone deaf about entitlement, she doesn't even deserve to talk about it. But for the sake of telling you what happened, she was going off about how she's racist against white people. These circular discussions about race are not something I care to have. But this is what she was talking about. And then she talked about... she was projecting, essentially. She talked about her time in Cuba at the end, where she had a laptop and gave it away to some Cuban, I guess. And she said she could do that because she can afford to. So she's not entitled or anything, you know, just whatever. Gave away her laptop. The blocking. If you said as much, some person said, maybe have a glass of water and a sandwich and go to bed. She said, no, I'm going to stay up drunk all night and get on the plane. Bye. That was a very simple suggestion in her looking out for her interests. It wasn't telling her, get off, you know what I mean? It wasn't telling her to change her language. It wasn't telling her to apologize. It was saying, yo, you're not doing good right now. Get offline. You're not gonna like the backlash from this. And so since she didn't, she turned comments off. Other things that she said we're all jealous of too. Let's see. She wants people to lawyer up too, because when she gets home, she's sending out affidavits, restraining orders. I don't know about the issue of international lines when it comes to calling the police and say your butt hurt, but whatever it is anyway. So lawyer up, and that we wish we were her. Charlie wishes that she was Foodie Beauty and or Amber Lynn. Make me a list of reasons why I'm jealous. Put it out there. And take the money off the table. Because without money, it's just another lonely, middle-aged homebody with a hectic, spastic, neurotic social life and friends who's just exploiting her own disabilities for money. You know, but just because she takes disability lightly and only wears it as a scarf when she wants to, when I need a Jazzy at Walmart, I'm disabled, you know, but she doesn't claim it any other time. She's only as disabled as the situation calls for to get her a break out of something she should have been doing, like walking. So, even after she bashed Amber Lynn Reed for using a scooter, as I recall, too. I mean, this goes back to her shopping for the Cuban clothes, and she was in one, but, you know, let's not, like, she totally trashed her for using one once. I would never. I'm almost 400 pounds, and I would never be in a scooter. Well, now the Queen of Sheba decides that she deserves. Walking is beneath her, apparently. So much is beneath her that walking is too. So she won't do that anymore. Other things that came out drunk. Again, the R word. Saying it's perfectly normalized. It's not a big deal. People with disabilities don't get bothered by it. Ask people with disabilities how they want to be referred to, and then address them like that. Okay? That's a little bit better of a way to go about it. If you don't want any of that happy bullshit, you know, the hand-holding PC crap, then just say nothing. But don't open your mouth, run it off, and then make up on the spot that you think people don't care about something. Stupid. It makes you look stupid. It makes Chantal look stupid. So, you know, whatever. Then we get into weight loss surgery. If you get weight loss surgery, you don't love yourself. Okay. So, if you don't get weight loss surgery, you do. So, homebound, bedbound is a bigger act of self-love than weight loss surgery. It's the same end, it just forces you to eat less when you can't stop your grubby little hands. Some people deal with greed, some people deal with gluttony, some people deal with eating disorders, some people deal with personality types and habits. There's a lot of understandable and totally ridiculous reasons, both, that some people are overweight and have challenges losing weight, okay? But to say that a surgical procedure used as a tool to lose weight, which is not a miracle cure, it's not a miracle pill. I worked with a guy who had the bypass. Big guy, my height. Before the bypass, probably about 450 pounds. He lost 100, gained back 50. It was like nothing happened. All he had was free surgery on everyone's dollar because he didn't follow up with it. So it's no guarantee of success. I think she trashes it because even if she got it, she'd lose some weight early on, like she did with the Coke, but she would still be heavy. So she goes from this to this. You are a weak person if you decide your health is more important. You are a weak person. You should stand tall with the other folks who are putting their knock knees together and flapping and decide, you know, we like it better like this. I would prefer to die 20 years younger. I would prefer to have lifestyle-related illnesses. Like, a lot of illness is related to lifestyle, especially when you get into obesity and stuff like that. So, telling us we're jealous of a life that she describes, anyone else describing her life would not be jealous or flattered by it. I mean, who doesn't like money? Let's be honest. Who doesn't like money? Who wouldn't want 30 grand a month? It's a nice amount of money for us. But I'm a, you know, low-wage mental health worker. That's different. People with boku bucks are like, so what? So what? People with things like equity, people with things like 401ks, IRAs, I know they have different stuff in other countries, but people who have savings, people who have money put aside, people who have so much money, and you don't need a lot to do this, that they've even maybe put some aside for someone else after they're gone. That implies that you don't die alone. So, you know, we need to keep that in mind. If we don't want to be buried in a potter's field, you might want to make a friend or two. So. Drinking, does it bring out your true colors? I'll talk about me, then I'll talk about her. Because I can't talk for what other people are like when they're drunk. I've seen her drunk, and I've seen me drunk. I can be obnoxious when I've drank. I mean, obviously when I'm sober I have my moments, but very obnoxious, very smug, very superior. When I say I see any of me in Chantal, it's the smug superiority when challenged. It's a fault that I have that she falls on, doesn't know she has, and totally exposes herself to over and over and over. When she feels challenged in any way, she gets smug, superior, and tries to shout out a list of things that she thinks is better about her life than yours. She's rich. You know, she doesn't have to work. Or this is the kind of work she does. She was very proud of herself in the drunk rant for saying, I make more money farting on YouTube than you do talking about me. Charlie Gold. Of course, Charlie Gold. She never lets anything go. Her last words are going to be Charlie Gold and Dee Dee. It'll be nasty shit about them, you know. So, anyway. So next. So yeah, as far as her language in the drunken rant, I didn't watch a lot of it. I watched it was 4 hours, and then I watched a couple clips of it. I probably got through about 45 minutes or an hour of it just to pull out some examples, and then otherwise I was too disgusted to watch. It was a disgusting spectacle by someone sober or drunk. And the next day, she barely remembered, according to her, what she said anyway. That's not an absolution. You forgot. I forgot that I said something insulting, so I guess I didn't. No. No. We are still responsible for our drunken selves. When I got into an accident, when I had 2 DUIs, and I was intoxicated when those things were happening, I don't get to say, oh, I don't remember, I blacked out, so it must not have happened. Or it must have happened in a way that benefits me when I remember it. This isn't cool. This is how to lose friends and alienate people. You know, she could write the she could write the insert. She could write the foreword. So the reveal. So we're back from Cuba. She's pissed. Still those mini rages back and forth about what people are pissed about. She did a lot of lives when she came back about boundaries and what's important to her, and she was crying when she was drunk about, I have to go back, I don't want to go back because it's just gonna all be about him and mine, I don't want to say. This is why running away from our problems doesn't help. You got to go home again sometimes, and if she's not equipped to do that, she's seeking mental health treatment. If it's not helping because it's not frequent enough or intense enough, then she should probably seek some more. But that's too much like work. So she's going to try to figure this situation out herself, it seems. And it's gone swimmingly, as you can tell, because the healthy cornerstone of every relationship is verbal abuse, emotional blackmail, and financial blackmail. I did all this for you. I gave all this to you, and you don't give me what I want. You know, you're supposed to be happy for me. You're supposed to be grateful. You're supposed to hug me. If someone's just not that into you, it doesn't matter how much money. I mean, they'll take it, but you're not getting any affection back, and you're not getting any real affection back. She says fake love is okay with her. That is so sad. That makes me sad for her. That does, that she's settled for fake love. But when you're that obnoxious, that's all you're probably gonna get. You know? BB, I think, just probably stayed silent and put up with it. Pete's is kind of a pushover. So now we are with Natter, and Natter's with Dee Dee a lot of the time. And the idea is, are they in it all together and scamming us all? Or is Natter just hanging out with Dee Dee because he likes her company, and Chantal makes him scream because she's infuriating, you know? We're in the position again, too, with Chantal's victim status. How long does it go on? How long is she still going to be a victim of his behavior? At what point does her going back to him, paying him, hiding her romance with him, hating the person who he's with instead of her, and crying over missing him, at what point does any of this make her not a victim? In that instance, when something happened, there was an incidence of abuse, but as far as a long period of it, you know, I'm not going to project my story onto her. I don't think it's necessarily helpful for other people to project their stories onto her. Other people have stories of assault, domestic violence, and how it damaged their lives, how they came out on the other side, lessons they learned, and mistakes they made. They don't just bring it up when they need to defend some shitty behavior, you know, or press charges against the person and have a restraining order, but drop the restraining order so you can sleep with them, but still have them arrested at your whim. If that's not manipulative, what is it? I don't know if I know. So, the reveal. So, she's back from Cuba. I don't even think she went home first. And she was shacking up with Natter in a hotel. So they're renting a room together. And how was this found out? Well. A call was placed to the hotel, which the hotel gave out that information. That's sus. Like, hotels shouldn't do that. They shouldn't give out that kind of stuff. I know it's not like HIPAA, but still, it's not. There can be legalities, I think, even attached into that, probably. But nevertheless, it was tracked down. So after the back and forth and the crying and the ass pats and the $2 super chats and the inspirational quotes about living healthy activities and, you know, and all that stuff, she is right back at his place like it never stopped. Like nothing happened. Like it had been going on the whole time. Like it was all being, you know, people being misled. The Beezers, the VIBs being misled. Well, when someone lies to you repeatedly, someone lies to me repeatedly, and I let them do it, and then I pay them to continue to stay on the platform where they lie to me. I'm looking at you, Beezers. It doesn't make a lot of sense to the rest of us. I mean, they have to understand that level of devotion is fanatical. That nobody would want to be around a person who behaved like that. Chantal's not entirely irredeemable. She has a few decent qualities in the works. In the works. She could be a better person than she is, but she's not interested in that. She thinks she's fine, and that everyone else needs fixing. Everyone but her. Hey everyone, Steve and Marc here.
Oh yes, and we have a giveaway just for you.
We are going to the movies in our next special.
Yes, we are. It's called Cinemagic, and it's all about the magic of the movies.
So we want to know, what is the most popular movie of all time?
Now that is according to our SSAM community, so we're taking a poll.
Let us know what your favorite movie is.
You know, it's that one that you saw like 100 times and still could see 100 times more.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one. So you can let us know by EM, IM, or DM.
Or leave a comment below.
Yes, and when you do, you are entered into our giveaway.
What did they win, Marc?
Well, I'm glad you asked. We just happen to have a Cinemagic prize basket. Oh, it's chock full of movie memorabilia, fun. Okay, let me just tell you. First of all, we'll start off with an SSAM gift pack. That's our Good Vibes Only t-shirt. We have keychains and stickers. And from America's favorite popcorn, we have another gift bag. And this has, look at this. It's a puzzle, some playing cards, there's a popcorn ball maker, a cinch sack, all kinds of good stuff. But no movie night would be complete without dinner and a movie, right? So, oh yeah, we have a $25 Uber Eats gift card and 5 free rentals at Redbox. That's either at the kiosk or right online. They can stream it too.
There you go.
Oh yeah, and there's not one. We're picking 2 winners. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love this. I want this for myself. Oh my gosh. Now you have until April 15th to get your entries in, and let me tell you, you deserve an Academy Award if you let us know by video. Just make sure it's 60 seconds or less, and you're okay with us sharing it in a future video, okay? All right. Good luck, everybody.
Sorry about that. Got a little distracted, and you know, the content is. I have my own addictions too, still. So, I would absolutely concede, as I was saying, that Chantal would be the victim in an abusive instance where she was verbally assaulted, verbally abused, emotionally abused, physically, any of that kind of stuff. She said this whole time, and whenever she's angry, she brings it up. We're supposed to be reminded of what a bad person Natter is. Now, I don't like Natter at all. Not my kind of guy, not attractive, not my kind of personality. He talks to women like they're dogs, and probably when they're not around talks about them like they're whores. So I don't really have much to say to Natter. There's no redeeming qualities, not even the food. But her past behavior, you throw that on top of what's happened to her, allegedly in the victimhood and all that stuff. Square that with how she behaves now, and is she still a victim? Is what she's doing now still a function of something he did to her? Is she responsible for her behavior yet? I guess that's the bottom line. When it comes into this situation, has she positioned herself so well as a victim when it's convenient of abuse, so that she can use it when she needs to, and then act like it's her choice when she doesn't? I'm just living my life, leave me the hell alone. But when I need attention and he's mean, I'm going to come back to you guys and tell you everything about him, personal, otherwise, dox him, dox his friends, dox Dee Dee's mother, who's in care at the moment. This is no withering flower, okay? And that's not revenge. Like, I could see wanting to get back at someone who hurt me. And if you had the means to do it out of spite, I could say spite is a real feeling. It's a human thing. I'm not a church person. People feel what they feel, and I think she probably felt spite about the whole thing. So, I don't know. So, anyway, it was tracked down that they were there. Now, how did that happen, and who tracked them down? Well, enter Tiger Talks. Tiger Talks is another channel on YouTube that goes up, goes down as far as content goes. Tiger, my only experience with Tiger Talks is in our comment section. And she's very blunt. She had said things in our comments on some older videos that were pretty critical. And then some stuff recently. If she likes it, she likes it. If she doesn't, she doesn't. Sometimes she uses colorful words. Sometimes she doesn't. She said in videos, I like something Marc said, but not you. That's fair. You know, she'll split the two of us up when she criticizes it or gives an observation on it or whatever. But we've never like DM'd IM. We don't converse like that. But she was the person who had made the phone call and had found out they were there. So a lot of reaction people. I'm a reviewer. I don't use her footage. I'm kind of like out of the way. Okay, a little clip here and there. A lot of people thought it was too far. It was a bridge too far. People crossed the line, going hotel to hell, calling people and doing this and that. Be that as it may, okay? When this has happened to Chantal before, because she was live when she was tracked down to her hotel room before. All of a sudden in the background, the phone kept ringing and they were ordering pizzas and sending them to the hotel and they kept calling and calling. She laughed. Oh, you beezers, stop calling here when she was tracked down. So I suspect, though I don't know, that the cause of her anger about this was less to do with how it was revealed and more to do with the fact that it was revealed. That it makes her look like a lying sack of shit. And she says she's normally not concerned with how other people view her. But we have viewers, who watch. And she's depending on the fact that enough people hate her but will still watch her. And that it'll all kind of even out. She gained 1,000 subs since Foodie Beauty came back. She's at like 92.5. And she was around 91 when she left. When I first started watching Chantal, I think she was at like 80,000 something. It wasn't super high. She always compares herself to Amberlynn Reed, too, as the two more luscious women who are in the circle of heavier women on YouTube. They tend to run in the same circle. Not so much Amy's life journey. I don't know what the hell she's doing anymore. But like Life by Jen gets thrown into that. But these channels aren't all equal in size. They're just equal in irritation. Like, Amberlynn's channel was about twice the size of Chantal's, isn't it? And Chantal will always try to align herself with someone bigger. What is that for? What's the word? Clout? Oh yeah, and we're friends and we talk here and there and hi Amber, and I think even Amber knows when to stay away from a mess. So the person who made the call, Tiger Talks. Tiger's had a channel since about 2016. She has about 800 plus subs right now, and that's a recent jump, because I had only seen her videos in the last couple days. When I had seen them a few days ago, there was a long stretch of videos that were about Chantal, mostly. And the way of filming, there's no face reveal, there's nothing else. Sometimes I think she's walking her dogs, and other times it's just like flat and black. You don't see anything, you just hear her voice. And like I said, my experiences with her weren't bad. They were just her saying what she thinks in a very blunt way. Which we have comment sections for that. And if we get butthurt, we have remove buttons for that, or we can just let the criticism stand, I guess. And so the bigger question, I think, is, was it called for? Was it uncalled for? There was a lot of pearl clutching in the community of was this too far? Was it too this? Was it too that? And like I said, this has happened to Chantal before, and she had taken it more lightly because it didn't expose anything she wanted to keep hidden. So when it got too far, now she has COVID. That's the end, actually. But when we're talking stalker status, about calling places, what about texting people a few 100,000 times with admitted verbally abusive language? Chantal says, or sitting outside someone's home and blasting music in the middle of the night, or showing up unannounced, banging on the door, trying to force yourself in, going into the parking lot, gaslighting a subscriber into calling the police so that one could get the pieces of her CPAP, her medical device. Because if you take her medical device, that means it's life-threatening. These are a medical device. Okay, let's not be dramatic. It's important to have your CPAP, but it's also important to remember that you told all of us that we were poor as shit and that you could buy and sell us. So get your ass out there and have two. Oh, wait. I think she did have two, and it was just an excuse to go back over there. She leaves her purse, leaves her keys, and then tries to say, he wouldn't let me take it with me. I don't believe her. I just don't. I mean, I don't know. It's still, I have that leftover not believe the victim thing. But victim is as victim does, you know? And she's not acting like someone who's scared of the perpetrator, or who's intimidated by the perpetrator, or who feels afraid to laugh at him, or anything like that. She doesn't seem concerned at all. So what do you call someone who's not worried about the behavior of another person? No fear, nothing. You even get a few digs in on them here and there, and you pretty much can get them to do what they want if you pay them. That's not a perpetrator. At least not now. In 10 years from now, if she is doing something offline as far as behavior, I don't mean out of line, not offline. If she's doing something out of line on camera, is it still because Natter was mean? And because Natter was verbally abusive and emotionally abusive and, you know, allegedly domestic, you know, violence went on? There will be more information revealed, I guess, when it goes to trial, or whatever it goes to. Chantal tried to take back her original trip to the police department and say, oh, he really did do it, but I don't want to take it this far. And she tried to pull it back. She did a little bit too much damage, I think, to him. With him being involved in the legal system and on parole, there's consequences for him that there aren't for her. If he answers one of her texts and replies, she could screenshot it and have him put back in jail for, you know, playing with the PFA and all that other stuff. So she's found herself in a very comfortable position where she can say anything to him about him, wherever she wants to, whenever she wants to. And if he as much as replies and uses her name, he was talking about me, he's harassing me, that is not a victim make. No. In an instance, was she a victim of abuse? Yes. Is she continue to be? Is there still a pattern of abuse? So when does it end? When does she have to start being responsible for her own behavior again? How long? Week? 2 weeks? 2 years? 10 years? We're still getting over 10-bit because that's convenient every so often. So yeah. When it gets too hot, get COVID. So now she has COVID, apparently. Good timing, right? Just when everything else in your life is going to hell and you don't want to talk about it because she's been exposed and confronted, she has COVID. No one's going to have sympathy points for Chantal having COVID. I promise you. She was in and out about getting her vaccines. And even at this point, with COVID, we've seen, at least in the States, people who are vaccinated, you know, get it anyway. They might get a mild form. They might get totally asymptomatic. It's kind of a crapshoot, you know. There's not a high mortality rate, but for the people who get it, and Chantal is one big walking risk factor, high risk factor. So she gets as much as the flu, something bad could happen to her. And it would be concerning if I thought it was true, but it. So I'm a little disappointed in her this week, but you know, maybe she'll be less disappointing next week. Here's hoping. I don't know. Mark,
Yeah.
can you come in here, please?
Yeah.
I need another set of eyes
Okay.
before the video's done.
I'm here. Hey, everybody.
You know Mark, of course.
Yeah, I'm in dirty.
I can take the glasses off. 'cause I
I'm
don't
gardening,
see.
y'all.
Yes, it's out in the garden already. So we just played catch up.
Yes.
With our fair lady.
Yes.
We talked about she's back from Cuba.
Mm-hmm.
Not before a drunken rant before the night she got back. Where she informed us all about how minorities prefer to be talked to and about.
Yes.
So, we had that.
What'd she do? Did she take a poll? Did she, like, how?
Community post. Who thinks my slurs aren't that bad? You know. At any rate, and we talked about that, and then we talked about her and Natter.
Yeah.
And how it was discovered,
Yeah.
exposed, what have you,
Yes.
that they were together in a hotel room when she got back from Cuba.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like,
Big surprise.
quelle surprise.
Yeah.
So I was then discussing her victimhood status, as she's been the victim of something perpetrated by the man she is paying the hotel bill for.
I know.
So would you have any thoughts?
Well.
I need another set of eyes
man,
because, you know.
Well, first of all, I mean, well, I know people are split on this, but I mean, bravo for finding out that she was in that hotel. with him. Not that, it was probably a big surprise to anybody, but this is yet another concrete lie that she was caught in. And furthermore, I totally agree with what you said. She is only upset about it because she was caught. That's the only reason. There's no other, I was doxxed, I was found, I was da-da-da-da. She was mad because she was busted.
She was busted.
And, and I guess it makes her look bad if that's possible.
Yeah.
Or
it doesn't help.
I don't know. Yeah, but no, I just have to say that because, hey, it just shows, again, the lies and the manipulation. I really have a problem or an issue or don't like people who manipulate other people in any way. Emotionally, physically, with money, with whatever it is. And I mean, this is a person who has built her whole empire, the Foodie beauty empire, on lies and manipulation. And this is what she's become. This is what she is now. This is like, you look at Foodie beauty, and it is lies, manipulation, and that is it. She is not a creator, okay? She is, well, if she's a creator, all she creates is drama and lies and manipulation, And like, was she always like this? I don't know, because I do remember a time when I used to watch and I used to enjoy some of her content.
I was subscribed.
Yeah, I know. Like the little, like, what are those time warps and things when she did videos, when she did content? This is a pathetic state of being right now. It's like,
let's watch who Chantal's mad at today.
I know. And this is who she's become. This is how she is. This is how she's presenting herself, and this is who she is now. Is she going to be like this 10 years from now when she's almost 50? I mean, that would be...
That would be unfortunate.
That would be unfortunate. It
that
really,
would be unfortunate,
would.
And shame on the Beasons for getting her there.
Exactly. And so moving forward, like, I don't know. In my own opinion, my own little opinion, is she don't give a. What?
Nothing.
But she don't give a damn what I have to say.
I'm just supporting you.
And then probably no one else does either. But in my opinion, I mean, she needs to take a cold, hard look at herself in the mirror by herself and do an evaluation. I mean, we're not even discussing her health. Or, I mean, come on. We're not discussing her financial life. She has this righteous, in-your-face attitude that she's a rich woman and honey, you ain't rich. You ain't rich. Something happens tomorrow. What are you going to do? Do you have a safety net? Do you have a savings? These things are, you have to take a look at these things. Your health, your financial, how do you want to leave your mark on the world? Or does this not matter to you? And that will show a personality there. That'll show a character, a personality trait, and all of these things that she's done now, including the latest drunken rage stream, where it was so...
It was sickening. It really was.
Like, can we just stop? Did that just happen? Like, I'm thinking all these things watching that, and all of those things. This is showing it. This is showing her true character. Okay, and it's just. I don't even have the words for it. Well, unfortunate, I guess, is the words. Because, I personally am a type of person that can't believe that someone would be okay with themselves to be that type of person, if you know what I mean.
Like, she loved herself just the way she talks to people, treats people, that she's...
It's one thing to love yourself how you are. I'm all for that. That's fantastic. Really, I mean, that's great. Yeah. But we have to take a look at what she's become, what she is now. It's no surprise she went right over to see Natter. Come on. First of all, drugs. Okay, yeah, okay, now come on.
If she was out of the country, he was out of money, unless she was sending it back. And by the way, sending international wiretaps between Cuba and Canada with money is suspicious.
It is suspicious. Just saying. I don't know, but so obviously coming from a looking at it like with drugs. Okay, Oh God, absolutely. I mean, it has to be. But I don't know. That's just kind of all I had to say. I was really kind of focused, especially after last night, about what she's become, what she is now, and has she been like this all the time? And where is she going with it? And is she okay with it? Is she, and she's gonna die alone and broke and probably addicted.
And it'll be somebody else's fault.
And it'll be someone else's fault. Always the victim. This is not a victim. And I also have a problem with folks that, Chantal is part of the problem that legitimate victims don't get taken seriously. It is a situation like this. And it's sad. It's sad.
It is.
Now again, who's that? Is that Mads?
Is that Natter?
Is that Natter?
Is that Natter? Is it him?
It was his mom.
Mom. It's our anniversary. So
Yes,
Mom
it is.
called to wish
nice.
us a happy anniversary. And then she said, get back to filming.
Yeah.
So thank you, Marc, for joining us and giving us
You're
some of your
very
insight.
welcome. I don't know. I hope that made sense. I think I talked in circles, but I get a little emotional when talking about this.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. Well, see you later.
Thank you, Marc.
You're welcome.
So where does that leave us?
Oh boy.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's just what is the next outrageous thing going to be? And Trainwreck appeal, only Chantal could beat the shit out of Trainwreck appeal and make it uninteresting. That was like the cornerstone of her channel for a while, that she was such a mess it brought people in. But someone who creates messes for themselves over and over and over, she takes no responsibility really for them happening to her. And she just kind of points fingers. I act this way because you did this. I act this way because I'm impulsive. It's not, I act this way because I chose to treat you poorly. It's never come out of her mouth. And I'm sorry doesn't either. So, I mean, have a nice life. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, we'll check in next week and we'll see where things are at. She's back in the in the States. Not the States. She's back in Canada. Whatever. So where do we go with this? Well, we'll see what Natter does. He'll be around. So we'll see. She's going to get flashy with her money, probably. She's a little cocky now that she got her channel back. She was cocky before, but now she thinks she's completely untouchable. None of us are completely untouchable. That's not how it goes. TOS is written as such that any of us can have our channels taken down at any time for any reason, and they can back themselves with it.
Not to mention it was taken down once already.
Yeah, it was taken down once before. So it didn't work last time. Well, just because your channel's not taken down doesn't mean the slurs you're using aren't disgusting. How's that? Okay? So thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe. Hit the notification bell on your way out so you get alerts when we have new videos and when we go live. You can follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, email address, contact info, all that stuff's below as well. Thank you again, and Marc and I will catch up with you tomorrow night. We are going live at 6 p.m. Eastern, and we're dyeing Easter eggs.
We are!
We're dyeing Easter eggs in the live. So if you got eggs and it's your thing, chicken eggs or whatever, don't hesitate to stop by and hang out. It'll be a good time. Okay? Thanks for watching. Bye. Say bye, Marc.